So when I had to cut back on my comic book purchasing, one of the things that I really struggled with was, what books do I keep buying and what books do I stop buying month to month? Um, and it was a decision that I'm constantly um, questioning and revamping my response to that. One of the books that and when I say I had to cut back, like I was only getting like two, two or three maybe. Um, and I was always hearing about this one and how it kept progressing from where I left off, and I just really regretted that I didn't keep up with it all the time, all the time. Felt a lot of regret because I I absolutely loved this book, and um, the writing and the story that is being told in this was something that I had many times talked about in different circles as being probably one of the more important books that were coming out, that was coming out. And I counted the days until I had access to the trade ARC paperback of this book. I am talking about the most recent ARC trade of Wonder Woman Fury. Um, this is Tom King, Daniel Sampere, Tomomari, Tomomari. Um, we got a whole list of people here. I'm gonna talk about them all. So Tom King's the writer. You know, Daniel Sampere, Kari Randolph, Bruno Redondo, Caio Filippi, Tomei Mori, Adriana Lucas, Alex Gomerez, Clayton Cowles on the lettering, and the collection cover artist of Daniel Samperi and Tumo Mori. And this trade covers issues number 14 through 19. Technically, it is volume 3 of the Tom King run of Wonder Woman. And she's calling you out right there on the back cover. Um, Not a long read, pretty quick. I got it from my local library. Thank you, Indianapolis Public Library. I treasure you so. I saw like a side note. I saw like this bumper sticker the other day, and it was I love my public library, and I was like, you know what? I love my public library too. Um, it's kept me going here, involving this like little switcheroo that I've done involving how I am consuming these beautiful things called comic books. I actually got this from the public library, and I read it in partially in the book form and partially on my Hoopla, just so that I could have a more like unadulterated access to the book when I started reading it. Because obviously I can take this with me everywhere I go. Um, and the book is a little bit more cumbersome. I I feel like the storyline can't the storyline, even just hankering on back to Wonder Woman #1, written by Tom King, where they renumbered Wonder Woman. Um, it's hard to sit there and equate into words that make sense exactly how important this book has felt to me as a woman living today in this political, economic, and all that climate. Um, Wonder Woman has been one of those things where you're sitting there and you're like, I don't understand how a dude is writing this woman in a good way. um, Tom King, for some reason, just has the ability to write women as a man, um, in a way that he's not only speaking in a sense that he's not only showing a an authenticity that um, is pretty difficult, I feel, for male readers, from what I can tell, to really pull off. There's a few of them in the comic world that pull off writing women very well that are male. And Tom Keene is definitely one of them. It's that understanding of what the character, what the character's very core of her being is. That makes it very, very effective of a book. Um, so there's not only just a knowledge of comic book history that is displayed here in full glory, but an understanding of the nature of the character, an understanding of the nature of woman, that I have to say I very much appreciate. Um, Daniel Sampere's art is absolutely beautiful. Um, the different issues with different people working on it, you can definitely see his style, and you can definitely see the difference between his style and Bruno Redondo. Um, but they're two very great artists there that really work well with the story. And Bruno Redondo recently got a lot of attention over the last few years because of the work he did on the Tom Taylor run of Nightwing. And so always nice to see him in wherever you can see him, but the true king of Wonder Woman art lately has been Daniel Sampere, from Wonder Woman 1, Volume 1, with Tom King to now. Um, Very striking, beautiful images of Wonder Woman, and the Wonder Girls as well. Um, let's see if I can find any kind of examples of, like, right away. Like, check that out. That is gorgeous. That is a beautiful moment there. Um, I'm trying to remember if that was an issue. That was some of the different Wonder Girls doing their fighting and like going through everything that they were doing to kind of assist um, Wonder Woman in what she was doing, and it was there's some really cool pages in here. I'm trying to find an example of something really cool. I really love how um, Detective Chimp is in a lot of this, and I really love how they worked that the panel grid with the 3 by 3 by 3. So like a total of like 9 panels in one page. I like that, and then it kind of switches a little bit up, in different spots. Um, but I always love how Detective Chimp is kind of written like Columbo. Um, I love it. I love because I don't mind Columbo all that much, and Detective Champ is pretty cool himself. Um, some really cool moments in here is when you get moments with our boy Jimmy Olsen. Um, that is a lovely cover right there. This is the cover art for number 17. Daniel Sampere. Lovely, lovely work there. That is beautiful. That's poster worthy, y'all. That's you put that on your fucking wall. That's what that is. Um, but so is this one. That was on Nakayama. Um, gosh, I'm trying to find. Oh golly, this is beautiful. This is the artist is Sam Pure. Um, this is this beautiful 2 page splash here is just wonderful. And the thing is about this is like we not only have Wonder Woman continuing her fight with the Sovereign, we have her going through some very real moments of grief and going and operating and doing what she does to try to process that grief. And um, if you've been reading Wonder Woman, you obviously know what grief she has been stricken with in the first issue of this arc. And the last issue that I read when I was reading Signal issues a lot was that issue. And I reread it and I was wondering, you know, how it was going to affect me this time around. Um, and it still kind of affected me the same way it did before. So that's really one thing that is really working for Tom King and company here is that you're you're looking at it and this person is able to not only write and convey a character, a woman character with that kind of authenticity, but now you're also going to put the grief on top of it, and how Wonder Woman, how Diana deals with that intense grief that she's feeling. And that is it was pretty substantial. And one of the things that I've been in a position where I have criticized Tom King for before, but in this series is done in such a way that it works, is excessive, what feels like on some ends as excessive narration. And you will even hear people talking about this series and saying that there's possibly some excessive narration, to which I disagree. This is not one of those circumstances where there's excessive narration. The narration is necessary because of the very nature of what he's building to in the last issue of this arc. And in this case, it's very necessary. Um, some of the things that I wish I could have seen more of. Um, I really can't figure out anything. I remember and I remember how I felt all the times that I was reading the single issues of Wonder Woman, and I had it all coming back to me when I started reading this, and just kind of sitting here with probably one of the best books, one of the best continued series that's on shelves right now. And I can't wait to read the next one. So that is a shining review, if at all, from me. And um, I'm probably one of those people that it does not take a lot to satisfy me when it comes to things like this. I guess maybe if I had to leave you with this glowing recommendation, the one thing that I could say that I could possibly be critical of is that first issue. I would have liked for that first issue to have been told in chronological order. I feel like the chronological order would have been a better way to present that story. And I don't necessarily have a major reason why. I just feel like it would have been interesting to kind of read that story from a chronological standpoint, because it does do a whole jumping around um, type of situation. um, so I guess maybe if there's going to be anything that I have any kind of um, criticism of, that I feel like the jumping around in time in that first issue might not have been necessary, and it probably would have been better to have just told the story. But all that aside, really great book. I really enjoyed reading it because I've missed it. I've missed it so much. So, all in all, the OUG recommends Wonder Woman Fury by Tom King, Daniel Sampere from DC Comics, Volume 3 of his Wonder Woman run. And can't really say much else about that besides that. Please subscribe, share this video with your friends. Let them know I'm here still doing reviews, if anything, in my own little way here, in my own little pocket of the world. A little bit of a plug, and I'll be doing more of this, and I was going to do more of an introduction at some other point, but I do now have a very, very new, very young Substack where I'm looking to display more of my process involving my writing, and to kind of promote my writing a little bit more. Right now, for the next few months, everything is a free subscription. So please come subscribe to my Substack. information will be in the description for my Substack. And for right now, the next few months. So to give everyone kind of an idea of what to expect from me. Everything will be a free subscription, where in the future, at some point, and I'll give you guys some kind of notice when that happens, I'll be switching to kind of a hybrid format where some things will be free and some things will be paid. And I'll kind of give you more information and more reasoning behind that at another time. But for now, I'm just kind of telling you about it. Yeah. So check that out. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. Um, subscribe here if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss anything. And until next time, I'll be seeing ya. Bye.